this is what I wanted to talk to you about today. I was on a World Fit call this morning, and I have a date night every Wednesday with my husband. Whether we're in town together or somewhere else, we will either have a phone call and have dinner together, or Zoom together, or FaceTime or something, so that we can keep this going. Now, if I don't make that time and have it blocked into my calendar, it will be filled with something else. And I was asked today, why did you start this? Well, back through the COVID period, um, we hit a bit of a rocky patch, Craig and and I knew that if I didn't make the time to work on us, then it wouldn't be created. And he understood that too. So we both had to make the time and make a decision that if we don't work on it, then it's actually going to maybe disintegrate. It's like stoking a fire. Hey, if you stop putting wood on it, the fire will go out. So we realized that we had to do something like that. So, and we have rules. So we have dinner together. We are not allowed to talk about work, and we have to stay connected for a minimum of an hour. So we'll either cook together or have dinner together, sit there. Sometimes it's a glass of wine, sometimes it's watching the sun go down, having a glass of champagne. Sometimes it's no alcohol and we're just sitting there having a chat. Sometimes it's watching a movie, or watching a show together, or listening to something together, or just talking about things that we've been learning, because we've both got we've got a business together, but we've also got our own interests on the outside, and we come together and talk about that. And that's one thing that I really think that is important too, that you need to have your own interests outside of a relationship, and you don't have to do everything together. Like, we work together, we own a business together, we've got children together, we live together. That doesn't mean we have to have the same interests. Yes, we both love fishing. He has his interests though, that he studies and does whatever he interests him, and then I've got my business here and what interests me. So, and one of the things that we had to learn pretty earlier on was, don't force what I'm doing on the other, and I don't have to be forced to do or believe in what he is doing. He can do whatever he likes, and we come together, and this part here is the most important part, the unit that we're creating or have created, and showing our kids that it's okay to have your own interests and follow your own dreams, and then you come together as whole people, rather than I just feel like I have to, and I should do this, and I have to do that because that's my role in this relationship. So changing those sorts of things has been a big thing for us, because I remember back in the early days, he wanted to go and play golf one day, and I didn't want to be at home by myself. So instead of going, okay, you go play golf and I'll go and do this, I begged and pleaded him not to go, and made him feel a bit guilty about going to golf. Anyway, it was the worst afternoon that I'd ever had with him. I'm never going to do that again. If he wants to go to golf, he can go to golf, because he was sort of sulking like a little child, and I was cranky like a little child, which did not work at all. So I learnt from that time then, don't try and force my negative emotions and try and get him to make me feel better. I need to do that all on my own. So that was a few things there that I learnt. What else I've learnt is that we don't make time for ourselves, and we feel guilty sometimes for doing it. And that was the reason that I started doing my retreats, because we don't make time to put care into the food that we cook. We just sort of slap things together sometimes. We don't take time to work out what sort of routine works for me. And then we don't work out sometimes too what's going on in our head, and who are we really doing this for. Because a lot of the time, I was a big people pleaser, so I was doing a lot of things to keep other people happy. So the kids thought I should be this type of mum, so I was doing my best to be that type of mum. And society thought I need to be this type of mum, so I was like, how do I do this? And then I wanted to be this type of mum, so there was lots of confusion in there. So in the end, I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to do what pleases me. And if that feels a bit wacky sometimes, who cares? The connection with my kids is the most important thing to me in that part of relationships. Same with my husband. It's like what helps me feel good. Saying no to listening to or watching something that he wants to watch, because we have different tastes in movies. He wants to watch this stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go do something else instead. And he'd be like, don't you want to watch it with me? I'm like, no, I don't actually feel like it. I'll go and do something else instead that pleases me.